Hey folks, Kilt-Man here. Kilt-Man, back in the kilt. Yes, of course. Modern Mackenzie, and we have the Grousefoot kilt pin. Lovely, lovely. Husky dog wandering around in the background. Now, if you've been keeping up to, current events with Kilt-Man, Kilt-Man's not been very well. He's had a huge alien virus which tried to take him down, but Kilt-Man, with the strength of tartan and the strength of whiskey, managed to beat it off. And now I'm feeling pretty good, pretty damn good. So, but sadly, me feeling good does not actually help the sad news which we've now got. And that is that yesterday, or was it yesterday, the day before, January 30th anyway, one of cinema's legendary greats, a character actor that you've all seen a million times, you recognise and you love and adore when you see him, Dick Miller, the great Dick Miller, with a career spanning from the 50s up until last year, 2018, has finally died, age 90. He died on January 30th this year. And, it's weird that, when you see these headlines of, Hollywood stalwarts who finally shuffle off this mortal coil. I've never met him. I don't know him at all. And yet I feel like I do know him. I feel like I've grown up with him because he's been in so many films that I've loved and adored. And he's become such a welcoming, friendly face in genre movies that to know that he's now gone, and you won't see any more cameos. This was a guy that he became famous for his cameos. He cut his teeth back in the 1950s with sci-fi and horror movies. He then went on to do a lot of Roger Corman movies, most famously Bucket of Blood, where he played a character called Walter Paisley. And Walter Paisley became his trademark name in a slew of movies. I don't even know how many films he played a character called Walter Paisley, or Mr. Paisley, or Walter. He is Walter Paisley. There's even a film about the character of Walter Paisley, and it's just, the guy was genius. You all know him. I mean, what his most famous things would be, come on now, Gremlins, Mr. Futterman. He's the guy that actually tells Billy, he put these little things in the engines and in the machines and in the little radios and the things you put in your ear. The Gremlins are there. He christened them Gremlins, Mr. Futterman. And he sees Gremlins for real. They're real! Gremlins! But he's in every single Joe Dante movie. Joe Dante loved him and put him in so many cameos. They'd only be a bit part, but they'd be a memorable part. Right now behind you, I put together a bit of a playlist of, because he's got like 175 movie credits, and I've got a huge amount of soundtracks to all those movies, and I've put together a big slew of these. I love that word, slew. I've put together, in tribute to him, a little gathering, a smorgasbord of his cues. Some of you out there might recognise them. I'm not going to name them all. Some are really famous, some are really obvious, because he's got so many great, recognisable and memorable moments. Terminator, Big Arnie, the T-800 goes into the gun shop, phase plasma rifle with a 40-watt range. It's just what you see, pal. Because Dick Miller plays, the guy who owns the shop. Uzi 9mm. Hey, I might close early. Hey, you can't do that in here. Blam! But he's genius. He's genius in everything he does. He's in the Howling for Joe Dante as well. He's the guy that owns this occult bookshop. Well, occult memorabilia. That's where they get the silver bullets from, to go and kill the werewolves. And it's like, these things aren't real, for God's sake. This is just, it's all, hey, you're going to pay for those. He's in Explorers. Spielberg. Is it Spielberg or Explorers, or is it Joe Dante? It's Joe Dante again, isn't it? I get confused on these things. And he plays this wonderful helicopter pilot who witnesses the lads making their spacecraft that goes off and actually meets genuine aliens. Not a great film. It's like half a film and then a rushed finale, which isn't that good. But it's got a cult status to it, and a wonderful Jerry Goldsmith score. But the theme that Jerry Goldsmith comes up with for this character, which encapsulates the main theme of the film, which is a heroic, rip-roaring theme, but it gives it like a whimsical sort of semi-tragic, haunting quality to it. A very, sentimental quality, and it's beautiful. It's called I Want to Live, the track is. I'm going to play that towards the end because that's going to be the perfect epitaph for him, really. I Want to Live. But he's in so many movies, this guy, and so many great character pieces. But he cut his teeth in horror, and sci-fi. He stayed in genre pretty much. He's always the blue-collar worker. This guy works behind the counter. He's a bartender. He's a grave digger. He drives the digger, the plough. He's a working man. And, he's always hard done to. He's got a hangdog face. I wish to God, it's at times like this when I do my videos, I wish I could edit in clips from films, but I can't. I can't do it. Haven't got the know-how, haven't got the time. Plus, with YouTube's getting worse at copyright stuff, especially for video clips, I don't want to get smacked around the chops with copyright claims. But it'd be so great to show so many of his little cameos, and because he's such a great actor. And I'm gonna reel off a few of his credits now. The guy used to be in the Navy. He was also a boxer, middleweight boxer, for God's sake. But let's just look at it. What have we got coming out? Well, it was done last year, and he plays in the film Hanukkah, Rabbi Walter Paisley. That was the last thing he's ever done, and he's still playing a character called Walter Paisley. Isn't it genius? Genius. Looney Tunes back in action. He's in both Gremlins movies. He's done voiceovers for Batman the Animated Series. I've got a bit of soundtrack from that coming on soon. Mask of the Phantasm. Attack of the 5'2" women. The Stalker. The woman who sinned. But the Burbs. Come on, remember that? The Burbs. That's good. He's in Moonlight. He's in so many TV shows. Moonlighting. He's in Night of the Creeps. Fred Decker's awesome 60s nostalgic zombie sci-fi space movie, horror, pure tribute. Night of the Creeps, awesome. Chopping Mall, After Hours, great film that. After he plays the waiter, whose name I believe was Walter the waiter. Explorers, great. The Terminator, of course. Gremlins, Murray Futterman, the Futtermans. Twilight Zone, the movie. Yeah, and he plays Walter Paisley again, and he's in the It's a Good Life sequence. The wonderful. This is what's playing right now, by the way. Jerry Goldsmith again, and it's the kid who can create anything with his power of his mind. Cartoon monster that comes to life and chomp down people. It's wonderful. Listen to that score. That's Goldsmith again. Glistening, glorious best. Fantastical stuff. He was in the TV show Taxi. He was in Police Squad as well, for God's sake. Heartbeeps. Remember that? Come on now. The Howling. As I said before, he's the guy that runs the occult bookshop. And he's got everything under the sun, like voodoo talismans. He's got rosaries, crucifixes. But he has a little box of silver bullets, genuine silver bullets. The guy who ordered him, he never came back for them, he says. Because the guy got fucking chomped, obviously. And then the guys who have to save their friends at the werewolf colony just take the bullets. And he's like, "You gotta pay for those!" Ah, you schmuck. Awesome. 1941. Steven Spielberg. Rock and Roll High School. He's in that too, Piranha. Again, Joe Dante. Excuse me one moment. I did have... What's playing right now? Batman Mask of the Phantasm. Shelley Walker. Awesome. He does a voiceover in this. He plays, Sol, the gangster Sol, who gets wiped out by the Phantasm in the opening of Mask of the Phantasm. You've got Shelley Walker with Elfman helped it with this glorious theme. Carquake. He was in Carquake as well. Crazy Mama. He's back in the 70s. Death Race 2000, yeah. Summer School Teachers, TV show Policewoman. God, let's go on now. Let's go. He's in McCloud. I think he's probably in every 70s TV show, in the States. Cop-related, drama-related. He's going to be in it. He'll have cropped up somewhere. The guy was never a leading man. Well, no, that's not entirely true. Obviously, he played big parts in the Roger Corman movies. But leading man status always eluded him. He seemed to realise that with his face, that wasn't going to happen. He had credentials, he had acting range and ability. But his real stalwart, trophy-driven, profession was to be the grassroots working man, and he really epitomised that. Thrust into the most ridiculous of scenarios, but my God, he was great. Such a sad loss. Such one of those faces that you always come on, and you went, "It's Dick Miller. It's Dick Miller, folks. Come on now, it's Dick Miller. We're at home now. We're in business. This guy knows his stuff." And because he's worked with all the acting heavyweights, and he's played off against the likes of Arnie Schwarzenegger, and it's just pure genius. What else? The Dirty Dozen, only a bit part in that. Wild Angels, The Virginian, The Man with X-Ray Eyes. I've got some of that soundtrack coming on soon. Premature Burial. These are Corman stuff. Little Shoppe of Horrors, of course. The Untouchables TV show, Bucket of Blood. Walter Paisley makes his debut. War of the Satellites. Whirlybirds. Who remembers that? Whirlybirds. When I was a kid growing up, back in the 70s, that was on obviously Saturday morning TV. You had Mr. Ed. You had the Monkees. You had the Banana Splits. You had Whirlybirds. You might have Dactari. Who remembers Dactari? But Whirlybirds, but then little bubble canopied helicopters, but really flimsy as fuck. And could not go from one of those things at all. No way, Jose. The Undead. Naked Paradise. Not of this air. Now I've got music from that. Will be coming up very shortly. Let's play. This is Man with X-Ray Eyes with Ray Milland. As I say, it's always a sad loss when a great genre favourite finally passes over. Such a familiar face from genre that you think of certain movies and he's not the star, but his face comes up. Do you start thinking of it? He's there. Always playing a stalwart, a grassroots, dependable sort of guy who is faced with, the most ridiculous of scenarios. But he's on the periphery, not a central character, always on the outside. He might help them, he might pass some words of advice on, or he might just go, he might just curse them out as they steal something from him and run amok. But it's awesome. Awesome stuff. What else do we have? I have a little list. Here we go. There's some you're going to know and like. What's coming up here? Can you recognise this? Gremlins. Incidentally, his favourite film that he worked on, believe it or not, was The Howling. The one I mentioned, he sells the silver bullets. And I don't think that's not his favourite character. I think it's just the film he enjoyed, of his own resume, that he enjoys the most. And it is certainly a wonderful, wonderful movie. Came out the same year as American Werewolf. Well, it came out just before American Werewolf. And of course, it had the same effects, because Rob Bottin had been trained by Rick Baker. Rick Baker had promised John Landis that he would work on American Werewolf, and when that never seemed to be coming to fruition, he was working on Joe Dante's The Howling. Well, why not? And he was training Rob Bottin, and then John Landis gave him a call and said, "Look, no, American Werewolf's now happening. Get your ass over here." He went, "Well, I'm working this." No, fuck that. You work for me. So he just trained Rob Bottin. Then he went over to American Werewolf, and he did the Oscar award-winning effects for American Werewolf. But The Howling snuck out first, with very similar effects under the tutelage of the highly trained Rob Bottin, who had gone to do The Thing, and Legend, and RoboCop, and Total Recall. There's no way you can't love this. But The Howling's a great film. It's like American Werewolf. It's a comedy as well. It's a black comedy, a satire really, tongue in cheek. The amount of werewolf references to other werewolf movies in The Howling is just ridiculous, and all the cameo appearances that you've got. Werewolf film director names are all in there. You've got references on TV screens. It's endless. But it's genius. I always see him with one of the duck-billed caps on, Wakies overalls, grease-stained, spanner in his hand. He did lots more beyond that, but that's the way I remember him, and probably a lot of you do as well. Let's move on. What else have we got there? Oh yeah. We're going back to some vintage stuff now. This is The Terror. Roger Corman. And this is how he cut his teeth, really. And obviously got a sheer love of genre films, because he stuck with them. Old school horror is very sort of boom, ba boom, boom, boom. It hits you, it's strident. It reinforces the fact you should be afraid. Shrill. And let's be honest, in the UK, James Bernard for Hammer did exactly the same thing. Enunciating like Dracula, bam, ba, ba. It's the same sort of thing, same style. Let's go on again. Sorry, I have to keep looking over my own camera to see what I'm doing here. I think this is one of his earliest. This is not of this air. Not a good film. Not a good film. But an interesting score though. And as I say, I'm playing all these bits because I can't show clips of the great man himself. I wish I could. I really wish I could. I wish I had a great big poster of his face to put on the wall behind me. That would be brilliant to do that. A big collage of all his different cameos and characters. Listen to this. You've got that warbly, woo, spacey sound. Venice. He loved the genre. He loved sci-fi and horror. His heart resided, with that kind of storytelling, the fantastical side of things. Although, as I say, did a lot of TV work, did a lot of voiceover work as well. A jobbing actor. Oh, what have we encountered now? You know what, I want to save that one till the end because, hang on. No. This is the Howling. This is the transformation in the Howling. A genuinely scary piece of music from composer Pino Donaggio. Big long transformation sequence where actress Dee Wallace stands and watches Robert Picardo as Eddie Quist, the sexual rapist mauler who's meant to be dead. He's been shot to bits but come back in this werewolf colony and he's now terrorising it, and he stands and shows off his transformation abilities. Grows bigger, 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 chest puffs out, snout elongates, fingers elongate, tied to talons and claws. He grows to 8 feet tall. It's genuinely wonderful sequence. Daft because she just stands there rooted and just stares instead of running. But I love how this score shifts and changes style and becomes more and more perverse and alien. There's this weird stuff going on. It's not about that. This is about the great man himself, Dick Miller. So, let me look again behind it and find it. Now, this is from Explorers, and he plays the helicopter pilot, Charlie. It's called I Want to Live. which I think is a perfectly apt epitaph, really. Dependable, reliable actor who was never the star of a film, but always one of its most dependable components and most memorable. He enhanced everything he was in. Shows the whimsical side, the hopeful, optimistic, dreaming side of the character he played in Explorers. It's just a nice little closing epitaph, really, before we go into the theme from the Terminator. Dick, you're up there somewhere. You know, I'm sure you wouldn't mind. Sorry, our tap just leaked then. Unless that was a sign from the mighty Miller himself. Here's Brad Feidel's iconic theme from Terminator, which of course Dick Miller gave a great little moment to. Sadly, he gets blown away, but you know, when facing a T-800, what do you expect? Hey, I may close early today. You can't do that. There's a 2-day wait on the handguns, but the rifles you can take right now. America. Your gun laws. Shit. I need to move to America. Kilt-Man. Stateside. Imagine it. One day it'll happen because I have every intention of relocating to Northern California. Some point. Cheers, y'all. The great Dick Miller. Wonderful cameos, wonderful character actor. Always a mark of quality. Cinema will miss you forever, but your legacy will go on forever. Dick Miller. I salute you, sir. Godspeed. Rest in peace. Genuine class character actor. Well, folks, that was a little sort of tribute to a great and probably unsung, apart from most of us sort of clique, niche, movie nerds and geeks know this guy. But you all do recognise his face. You would do. So, let's all doff our caps and wish him fond farewell. Sail safe. Sail proud to the halls of Valhalla. Anyway, folks, that was a Kilt-Man tribute and epitaph to the great Dick Miller, sadly missed. Anyway, y'all, I'm going to see you very soon. In the meantime, keep it kilted. keep it Celtic, keep safe, and, when possible, make cameos. I'm gonna see y'all. Ooh,